It's, the whole transition from the fiat standard to the Bitcoin standard, it's going to be tricky. There's no perfect roadmap that's been written for this. What we're doing, what Bitcoin is, has never been done before. So we're all figuring it out as we go. You have the people who more or less get it, you and I and many listeners, each doing our part. We're having our conversations and we're slowly getting people to tack on and join the party and understand that, hey, we're here for the brighter future. We're building the bridge to the brighter future. In fact, the bridge is already built. You just have to walk across it. But then it's okay, well, how does everyone else follow? Or at least how do the benefits start to flow? Even if it's not that they all join us, the benefits start to flow back such that they don't view the bridge as this dangerous, complex, tricky thing that they should avoid and they can't possibly understand. But they look at it as, oh, that's, I want to go travel to that beautiful place on the other side and maybe see what it's all about. And, I can come back. But yeah, in terms of, we're anchoring to real estate a little bit in this conversation, how the real estate part plays out, we're seeing it already with this, again, extend and pretend, keep the values up, stifle new builds. Where does that lead us? Well, we're going to keep inflating and it's all fake. It's not real. You're not really getting richer because if the value of your house goes up, well, if you want to buy another house, well, it also went up. So your relative wealth hasn't actually changed. And also all the things you want to buy in life, food, energy, all that's going up. So your people need to really take to heart the difference between nominal wealth and real wealth. Nominal meaning, right? I can move to Zimbabwe and be a trillionaire. I won't be able to buy a loaf of bread, but I'll be a trillionaire. It's meaningless, right? The numbers on the screen, centralized credit tokens are meaningless because there is an infinite supply. And so that's why we Bitcoin, because, well, it's a much more objective, real way to measure wealth that cannot be inflated away. And so when you and I now look at real estate and I think, well, okay, I want to buy a house. Well, 8 years ago or 7 years ago, it might cost me 200 Bitcoin. I'm just pulling numbers out of my head here. 200 Bitcoin to buy a house. And then a few years later, it cost me 80 Bitcoin to buy a house. And now I'm looking at 12 Bitcoin to buy a house. My cost is going down because I'm not using a phony measuring stick anymore. I'm using a very objective measuring stick that you and I and all the other Bitcoiners, we all check the scoreboard and it's always the same. It's always my wealth is X, whatever my number is of Bitcoin that I own, divided by 21 million. My share of wealth never changes. The real purchasing power is growing, and I can see that because it costs me less Bitcoin if I want to buy these goods and services. Whereas it's the other side, okay, if I have $100,000, what's the denominator, right? Is there $1 trillion Canadian dollars in existence? Is there 2? Is there 5 trillion? I have no idea. And even if I knew precisely today how many Canadian dollars are in circulation, I have no idea what there's going to be tomorrow. I have no certainty about what the monetary policy is going to be tomorrow, what the central bank is going to do tomorrow, how much debt the government's going to put me in, and the central bank will finance it by creating some new money for them. So I can't use this to think about economic reality. And so looking at real estate through that lens is just a fool's errand. And so we need Bitcoin, and it'll be our saving grace at the end of the day.